A very good morning to Madam Miza and my fellow friends. Today I'm going to conduct my Task 3 coursework assignment for EDUP 3143 Sociology in Education. So, first of all, my topic is social mobility and educational transformation. So, here comes the topic question. What is social mobility and education transformation? So, social mobility is the movement between social classes. It is the change of one's social position in society. This concept is often used to measure the equality of a society, and it is loosely related to the societal fairness and social stratification. What do you mean by this? It means that social mobility is when you move across social classes, across social group, and you change your social status. So, for example, when someone get a promotion in their job, they have a change in the social status, or when they get a better income, or their family getting richer. This is moving their social status. Their status, their position in the social hierarchy will change, and we call this social mobility. So, this concept is often used to measure the equality of a society. Why? This is because when we want to measure whether a society is equal or is it fair, we see whether or not an individual has the chance to change their own life in the society. So if it can't, meaning the social mobility is high, people can change their life, use their own ability in the society, means that the society is equal. It gives chances to everyone to change their own life. Okay, next we have education transformation. Education transformation is the change in the education system to meet societal change. Over time, society change follows technology or social advancement. To adapt to these changes, education transformation is put in place. Education transformation is basically a change in the education system. So, for example, we used to have rote teaching, meaning the teacher teach and then the student just remember. But now we have more uh, cognitive challenging policy. This means that the education is changed. The way we teach, the way the student learn, it changed. So these changes are called education transformation. So why do we need these changes? These changes is done so that we can follow the societal change. Because as time progress, as humanity progress, we will have changes to the society. Some things that is useful and suitable in the past may not be as suitable right now in modern times. So we have to change it. Like in the past time, maybe having basic knowledge is enough. So we use rote teaching, just remembering is enough. But now we need the student to learn, to adapt, to apply, to think about it, to go deeper about the knowledge. So we change the way we teach. Now we have more cognitive skill teaching. So next is the factors of social mobility. What causes social mobility or what can affect social mobility? The first factor and the biggest factor, in my opinion at least, is education. So what can education do? Education let us acquire skill and knowledge. It fosters individual competence in the society. Literacy, numeracy, critical thinking, and communication skills. It enables us to adapt and pursue higher achievement in society. So what this means that actually the main purpose of education is to develop our potential and to let us acquire the needed skill and knowledge to survive in this society. It fosters our competence, meaning it grows our ability, it grows our ability in thinking, our ability in communicating, and it provides us with basic knowledge. All of this is needed for us to develop ourselves and to pursue a higher achievement in the society. So, for example, um, our academic achievement may actually get us a better job. For example, we have SPM, and after our SPM, we go to a university. If you get a higher result in your SPM, you can go to a better university, and maybe after you graduate from the university, you get a better job. You get a better, higher starting point because your result is very good. You can get a higher position than a normal student from the beginning. So this actually shows that education can affect social mobility because it changes your ability, and from the ability, it allows you to achieve a higher raise in your life. So in education, everyone is given a chance to change their life. Education measure an individual's true ability. So, for example, everyone have a fair chance at SPM. What does this mean? What I'm trying to say right here is that education is a factor of social mobility because it provides us the ability to change our life. More so ever is that education is fair. Everyone When every Malaysian has the chance to go into the education system and receive education until our Form 5, and everyone set for the same SPM. So education actually measure an individual's pure ability. Even though some might have tuition and might have better education resources, it still depends on our own ability. So education actually provide a fair chance for us to change our lives. So education is a factor of social mobility, and as I have made a short conclusion here, education can change our social status through providing us the power to make changes. It's provide us the skill and knowledge to make the changes in the life. So the second factor is occupation. So occupation can actually affect our social mobility in two aspects. One aspect is social status. Changes in occupation can elect respect and authority. It can raise our social status. So, for example, change from a worker to a businessman, these changes allow the individual to move up the social hierarchy. What does this mean? This means that in the society, there are a social hierarchy, and some occupation there's also a social hierarchy. So for example, not to be discriminate, but for example, a cleaner versus a businessman, the businessman will usually get more respect and people will treat them better because they place higher in the social hierarchy. So this means that if you change your occupation, you can change your social status. For example, I went from a normal worker to a professor in the university. This will elicit more respect and give me more authority in the society. So this will cause social mobility. The next aspect it can affect our social mobility is from the aspect of income. So actually occupational changes can bring higher income, higher economic ability, raise our social status. So for example, a normal doctor become a hospital director or a hospital dean. So they will get a higher income. So and in Malaysia we have the B40, we have the M40 and we have the T20. So when you change this income, your own life quality become better and you have a higher economy background, it can raise your social mobility. So, in a short conclusion, occupation can affect other perception toward us, thus changing our social status. This is related to the just now, as I said, the social status. You change your occupation, it can change your economy, it can raise other people respect, so it can change your social status. And the third one is social and cultural capital. What does this mean? This means that the social and cultural capital actually refers to our quality and quantity of social relation network. So it means that sometimes through our friends, we can raise our social status. For example, an upper class friend may bring us into the upper class social state circle, thus raising our own social circle. What this mean? So, for example, usually we have friends is usually from the same background, right? You won't suddenly go from a poverty child, suddenly you know someone really, really rich and become a super best friend with them. Not usual. But if you do have an upper class friend, for example, you know a really rich friend, his father is a CEO from a really big company, that friend may bring you to know more other rich friend. It can bring you into a higher social circle that you had never come in contact before. So when you come into this upper social circle, you get to know more people. It in fact also raise your own status because you know more friends and all of this social capital, this social relationship, it can bring you benefits and can raise your own social status, even though you doesn't come from that social circle originally. So in a short conclusion, social and cultural capital can be used to raise our social status through relationships. Okay, and the next is the implementation of education transformation. Okay, so the paragraph that's shown right here is our NPE, the National Philosophy of Education. Education is Malaysia in and is an ongoing effort toward further developing the potential of individual in a holistic and integrated manner, so as to produce individuals who are intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and physically balanced and harmonious, based on a firm belief in and devotion to God. Such an effort is designed to produce Malaysian citizens who are knowledgeable and competent, who possesses high moral standards, and who are responsible and capable of achieving high levels of personal well-being, as well as being able to contribute to the harmony and betterment of the family, the society, and the nation at large. So why do I read the NPE just now is because this NPE is the aim of our education system. So which means that whatever improvement we do to our education system is trying to achieve the MPE, and so is our Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 and 2015. So in this Malaysia Education Blueprint, there are three big components. The first one is the system aspiration, which has access, quality, equity, uniquity, and efficient. It means that it's trying to improve the society by providing more access to education, to ensure quality education to everyone, to equity, equal treatment to every student, unite all students under Malaysia education system, and also use Malaysia education system resources efficiently. And we have the 11 shifts. This 11 shifts is a more practical approach, meaning what we should do to achieve our aim to better improve our education system. And the last one is the student aspiration. And today I'm going to focus on the student aspiration. There are six student aspirations: knowledge, thinking skill, leadership skill, bilingual proficiency, ethnics and spirituality, and national in identities. Sorry. So first of all is knowledge, the first aspect in student aspiration. So every student has the basic knowledge to survive in this society. At the most, basic literacy and numeracy has to be mastered. Core subjects such as science and maths are also focus. This is the basic in our education system. So the first thing they need to guarantee that the student achieve this student aspiration is actually what the education system trying to shape in our students. So of course, first of all, knowledge at the most basic literacy and numeracy, science and math need to be mastered by the students. So they need to have this basic knowledge to survive in this society. And other than this basic knowledge, of course, arts and music, dancing, such as all these like more artistic skills, they are also encouraged to be fostered in the student. But knowledge, the basic knowledge needs to be fostered in the student in order to develop their thinking skill and to develop their knowledge. And the second is thinking skill. So our education system try to enable our student to think, make connection between knowledge and apply it. Thinking skills such as critical thinking, reasoning, creative thinking, and innovation are developed in students. Train the students to use their cognitive skill to think rather than remembering. As I mentioned just now, we used to use rote teaching, so the student just remember. But now we're trying to change it to cognitive thinking, which means that we doesn't need the student to know the knowledge, not just know the knowledge. They need to go deeper in the knowledge. They need to think, need to make connection, and the most important, they need to know how to apply it. You not just remember, you need to know how to use it in your real life. So this thinking skill like critical thinking, reasoning, creative thinking, innovation, they need to be fostered in the students, enable for them to apply what they learn in their real life. So this is the second student aspiration. And the third student aspiration is leadership skill. So other than knowledge and the thinking skill to develop their cognitive, they need to lead the others. The students are able to reach their full potential as aligned with the national philosophy of education to develop in all aspects and lead the others. So the student can lead and work with others. This skill is very important in this globalized world. So as our world has globalization right now, we can connect with people very far away, and we also expand our social circle. So a student, they doesn't need only have to be knowledgeable, can think, they have to lead. You have to know how to communicate with others, how to work with others, how to work as a team to achieve a united aim. So the fourth student aspiration is bilingual proficiency. So our education transformation try to foster the student to be bilingual. So at least the student can use and communicate in Bahasa Malaysia and English. So as we all know, Bahasa Malaysia is our national language. It is a sign of unity and a signature of our country. So of course, every Malaysian will know Bahasa Malaysia. This is a must. And the second language, as the second language they're trying to teach is a student, is the English. Because English is the international language, it allows the student to function on an international level. And so this bilingual proficiency, it actually allows students to broaden their worldview. So you can actually go further, you can go out of Malaysia, you can go work some other country as long as you know English, but at the same time you retain Bahasa Malaysia as your own national identity. So the education system is trying to foster this bilingual proficiency in students in order to raise their own competitiveness in an international level. So the fifth one is ethics and spirituality. This means that we instill the correct ethics and spirituality in students. Students have a correct sense of right and wrong and correct values. Actually, the aim of education, not just knowledge, just that you are smart, then it's fine. No, we try to foster our student to become an useful individual in the society. And ethics and spirituality is needed. You need to know what is right, what is wrong. You need to have the ability to make the judgment and the correct values and norms, of course. You need to know what you can do, what you cannot do, what you can do to contribute in this society, not just smart. Sometimes smart is not enough. You need to have the correct personality and correct behavior in the society. So the last student aspiration is national identity. So other than like our socially, our ethnicity, our thinking skill, our knowledge, you need to have a national identity, meaning that the student have a strong sense of Malaysian belonging. Like student unite under the flag of Malaysia and work hard to develop this society and nation. So the student, they not just like smart and then they just go out the country and work for other country for their whole life and or they just immigrate. It doesn't mean like that. It's mean that our education system is actually also trying to foster the sense of belonging in Malaysia. Like no matter what races you are, what religion you are Malaysian. So that our education system can foster a generation and generation of useful individual that can contribute to the development of this Malaysian society. Okay, so the next education transformation that has been done is meaningful learning. So, meaningful learning, also known as deep learning, it refers to the understanding of knowledge and skill being taught and being able to link it across contexts and apply it in real life to solve problems. It is one of the important characteristics of 21st century pedagogy. There are four components in deep learning. So actually deep learning is not just that you understand the knowledge. It also means that you're able to take it think, modify it, apply it in real life to solve real life problem. Meaning that after you learn, you need to use it in real life, not just learn and remember and done with it. You need to apply it. So there are four components in deep learning: pedagogical practices, learning partnership, learning environment, and leveraging digital. First of all, pedagogical practices, meaning that when the teacher teach, they need to teach the student to cultivate the thinking skill, not just remembering. Learning partnership, meaning that you learn together with the teacher, with the student, with the parents, meaning that you have someone else with you while you learn. And the learning environment is actually focused on the space you are learning. It has to be conducive, you have to be comfortable in order for you to learn. And the last one is leveraging digital. So actually digital is very useful right now. So when teach deep learning actually promotes us to use digital so that it can engage the student even more. Okay, so actually in deep learning, there are a lot of model in KPPB, in new pedagogy deep learning, there are a lot of model that can help and conduct this meaningful learning. So actually the basic model is the 6D model, but all of this model, they encourage the student to relate the knowledge into real life. Other than 6C, there are also student learning model 3E and 3R. So I'm just going to explain the 6C. The 6Cs have six aspects: character, citizenship, communication, critical thinking, creative thinking, and collaboration. So character means that your personality, you have to build your personality. Citizenship means that you have to build your national identity, your sense of belonging to the nation, your citizenship. Then what is communication? You need to know how to communicate with others. Collaboration. After communicate, you need to collaborate. Not just talk with them, but work with them as a team towards a united aim. And critical thinking, you need to able to think cognitively about the knowledge and creatively you need to able to creatively use the knowledge or creatively think about the knowledge, jump out of the box. And other than this, we also have the student learning model. We have the relationship, learn how to learn, and also aspiration. And all of this, we have some like the student need to learn the way to learn, and you need to form relationship with others, and you need to have interest in the learning. And also 3E, we have engage, enhance, extend, and also 3R, we have rigor, relevant, and relationship. These three models, I'm not going to dive deep with it, but the all students, all my fellow friends, you can go research with it more. Okay, so the third and the last education transformation I include in this slide is education information. So, what is education information? Education innovation, I'm sorry. So, innovation actually refers to the development and implementation of new ideas to improve the teaching and learning process. So, below show a few examples of education innovation. The first is technology integration, meaning that you integrate technology during teaching and learning. So, actually, this is to extend the knowledge, also to engage the student more. And actually, this is quite common right now in this 21st century. We use slide when teaching, or we play some music. All of this is a technology integration. The next one is personalized learning. It means that you adjust the learning experience or content to suit the learners. In the old times, we just use the textbook and just one for all model. But right now, we're trying to personalize it. So maybe you can change it according to the student level, because not every time the textbook is suitable for all students, so the teacher could modify it. So this enable the student to connect more with the lesson and it more suit their level, so they're able to learn more. And the last one is gamification. Gamification is also an education innovation. It means that we integrate game into teaching and learning process. It can increase participation and build a fun learning environment, meaning that you use the game to teach. This is also a type of innovation lah. Okay, next is the implementation of education transformation in Malaysia. In this section is that how does the education transformation we said just now can increase social mobility in Malaysia. So first, it can develop students to their full potential. So the student aspiration in the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025 could develop students' full potential. This is aligned with the NPE, as I said just now. It fosters students to develop in all aspects, creating a balanced and harmonious individual. So, for example, an individual can use their learned knowledge to get a better job, thus not changing only himself but also his family's social status. What I'm going to say by this is, as I said just now, the student aspiration has the six aspect. All these six aspects actually develop student in their areas, in their physical, their intellectual, their social, their ethnicity, their spirituality. So it means that it develops student in all aspects, not just thinking or not just personality, but all aspect, creating a balanced person. And what they get from this student aspiration, they develop their betterment, they become the balanced individual. They can use it to their full potential, meaning that you're not just good at knowledge, you're not just smart, but you're also good at physical. So it can develop you to your full potential, because people we have talents in different way, and this education system, the student aspiration, actually develop you to the fullest, to the full potential. So, conclusion, this student aspiration, they urge the student to foster their ability in all aspects. Thus, it can develop student to their full potential. Next is the meaningful learning can increase an individual competitiveness in the society. So, meaningful learning, it promotes the practical application of knowledge in real life. As I said, this means that the student can utilize this knowledge to make their life better. Meaningful learning promotes the student to think critically and creatively. It focuses on developing student ability, not just knowledge. So, as I said just now, the key point in meaningful learning is application. You not just think, you need to know how to use it. So it promotes the student to think critically and creatively, so you can increase in individual competitiveness. What does this mean? This means that not just you know, but you apply, and you can modify it and you adapt it. You can use it in the society. So, for example, when you are in the workplace, compared to a person who do the slide. For example, you have a PPT, you have a proposal, they just use the slide and they just make a slide and it's all on paper. But if a student know meaningful learning, they know how to apply the knowledge. So they can, after they do the slide, maybe they do a further research, maybe they really call the company, oh, can you do this product? And they search everything. Then only they present. This means that you can apply the knowledge and make it into real life. You need to know how to apply it. So actually it increases the individual competitiveness because you know how to apply, not just know it. Okay, furthermore, meaningful learning also promotes lifelong learning. Lifelong learning refers to the student keep on developing their ability and continue improving themselves to meet evolving society. So actually, meaningful learning also promote lifelong learning. Lifelong learning meaning that no matter how old you are or how old you are, how grown you are, where you will keep on developing yourself. So meaningful learning it also promotes lifelong learning. So no matter where you are, when you are, you will keep on improving yourself. So your ability doesn't stagnate. You will keep on increasing your own ability. So you will always have the competitiveness in this society. So actually we heard the news, right? A lot of news, for example, like someone in their 50s, it's kind of difficult for them to find a job about because they're about to get retired, right? Already 50s already. But he loses his job is 50s, but he still need to find a job, right? But if you apply meaningful learning and lifelong learning, meaning that even though you're already 50, but your ability it keep on increasing, you have the experience, so it still is a competitive, it still allows you to compete with the other youngster in the society. Because if you're 50, it's kind of difficult for you to find job because they think you're about to retire and you're old, right? Maybe you cannot follow this society. But if you use lifelong learning, means that you keep on developing and evolving yourself, so it's you still can compete with the youngster in the society. Maybe you can still get a job, and thus it can increase your social mobility. So this is what I'm trying to say, is that the meaningful learning and lifelong learning, it promotes you to keep on thinking, keep on evolving, keep on adapting, so that you can follow the societal footsteps. So conclusion, meaningful learning, an individual has the ability to compete in this society and climb the social ladder. So if you have individual competitiveness, you can compete in this society, you can get the job, you can do a better job than others, compete with others, and you can climb the social ladder and you can increase your social mobility. The last one is that it promotes student adaptability in facing the future challenges. Actually, the main role of education innovation, the keyword is adapt. Technology integration, gamification, or personalized learnings is to adapt the learning process to suit the student. So through it, student can internalize the knowledge taught. They also learn to use the knowledge in a creative way. So this means that the student will learn how to adapt to the future challenges and or make the future challenges adapt to them, meaning that you can suit and you can survive in whenever and wherever. And this education innovation, it fosters this kind of adaptation spirit in the student, so the student can keep on adapt. And for example, as I said just now, if you're 50s and you're about to get eliminated by the society because the society changed already, but if you can adapt in the society, then you can survive. Furthermore, the digital skill used to make this innovation can foster student technological skill. These digital skills are advantages that allows us to adapt to modern society. So it still come back to adaptability. So the education innovation actually focus a lot more on educate digital skills, and digital skill is really important right now because almost everything is related to digital right now. And I believe in the future it's just going to get even more connected with digital, because this is the way our society is going through, like, is developing towards technology. So actually this technology is allowed us to adapt to modern society, as I said just now, because there's always new generation. Like I graduate this year, I become a teacher, then the next year there's going to be another batch of new teacher, and the other year there's going to be another batch of new teacher. So actually the society is keep on progressing and the time is keep on progressing. So we as a student, you need to know how to adapt in this society, you need to know how to evolve in this society to survive. So this education innovation, it promotes your adaptability. You know how to survive, you know what to do, you know what you can do to better yourself. And thus you can raise your social mobility because you're always improving yourself. So conclusion, education innovation allow the student to adapt to the society to face future challenges so you can raise your social mobility. Okay, conclusion. Actually, social mobility and education transformation. Educational transformation can cause social mobility because education transformation is the improvement that we've done in the education system to keep on improving the education system. And education system is keep on fostering our younger generation. And when this younger generation, they graduate, they go to the society, they can use this learn knowledge, not just knowledge, learn everything in this education system. What they get, they can use it to change their life, they can use it to improve their own social status, they change their social position, so they have social mobility, which means that education is actually the base for everything. So we as a teacher, or as a learner teacher, we need to make our education system better to give birth to a better generation of students. They can survive in this society that give them the ability to change their own life, or even better contribute to this society and change our nation as a whole. Okay, so that's all, and I have a few reference. This is my reference that I used in this slide, and that's all from me. Thank you.